You weren't scrolling by accident. Something stopped you. A phrase, a frequency, a sentence that felt less like information and more like recognition. As if a part of you had been waiting not for a message, but for this message. What is divine power? You may have asked, and the answer isn't out there. It's not hidden in temples or timelines. It's not something you need to earn, find, or master. It's what you are, what you've always been. You didn't lose it. You only forgot. And now, you remember. This isn't about learning something new. It's about returning to the vibration that was yours before the world told you who to be, before you traded instinct for performance, before you started doubting the very thing that made you whole. You didn't mishear this code. It came to wake you, not to become someone else, but to come home to who you already are. There's something quietly heartbreaking about realizing that your whole life, you weren't really missing anything, you had just forgotten what was already yours. No one ever told you that forgetting is not the same as losing. One is a gentle veiling, a sleep of the soul. The other is disappearance. But your divine power, it was never gone. It didn't vanish when you were rejected. It didn't dissolve when you compromised or when life bent you in ways you never asked for. It simply waited, patient and still, beneath the noise of the world and the survival habits you built to belong. And yet, you still find yourself asking, why didn't I know this earlier? Why didn't anyone teach me that power doesn't come from striving, but remembering? The answer lies in how we've been shaped. From a young age, we're told who we need to become. We're taught to perform instead of feel, to chase instead of listen, to prove instead of be. And slowly, we forget that there was ever anything sacred inside us that required no validation. That forgetting becomes a lifestyle. It becomes the air we breathe. You wake up in someone else's rhythm, speak words you don't fully believe, agree to things that drain you. And still, you wonder why it feels like something's missing. But what if it isn't missing? What if it's still there, your divine essence unharmed, untouched, just waiting for you to notice it again? Thoth's most dangerous code isn't some ancient riddle locked away in a hidden chamber. It's the remembering. It's the truth that your power isn't earned, it's reclaimed. It's not activated through force, but reawakened through presence. And that's the real challenge, isn't it? To stop looking for your strength outside yourself. To stop trying to become something more, and instead become what you already are fully, unapologetically, tenderly. You don't need another self-help book. You don't need a new identity. You need a moment, one still breath, one quiet pause where you remember, nothing real can ever be taken from you. Not by others, not by time, not even by your own forgetting. That's the mystery. That's the magic. And the beauty of it, you don't have to earn it. You just have to return. It didn't happen all at once. That's the hardest part to see. You didn't wake up one day and say, "Today I will give away my peace." No, it left in small, quiet moments. Moments so ordinary, you didn't even recognize them as thresholds. It began in that conversation you didn't want to have, but had anyway, smiling when your body was screaming no. It drained a little more in that tight smile you gave to keep the peace, not realizing you were sacrificing your own. It chipped away in the scroll when you saw someone else's curated joy and felt your own life suddenly inadequate. Peace doesn't get stolen, it leaks, drop by drop, through self-betrayal dressed up as politeness, through silence that pretends to be strength, through that look from someone you love that made you shrink just a little and you didn't speak up because what's the point? And still, you wonder, where did my calm go? You think maybe it was the stress, the job, the breakup, the pace. And sure, those things matter. but the real erosion happened every time you chose being liked over being true. Every time you agreed to stay quiet just a little longer. Every time you gaslit your own intuition because someone else seemed more certain than you. You see, peace is not a prize. It's not something you win by working harder or meditating longer. It's a field and energy built on choices you make when no one's watching. The truth is, you didn't lose your peace. You gave it away, not on purpose, never with full awareness, but in fragments, in trade-offs, in the name of being good, being nice, being agreeable. You surrendered your calm to survive your relationships, to fit into rooms not built for your frequency. And now, you're here, wondering how to reclaim it. Start by asking, who have I been giving my peace to? What parts of me did I abandon just to be safe? And then listen not to your guilt, but to the quiet part of you that says, you can come back now. Because the same way peace drifted out, it can return choice by choice. When you say no with love, when you rest without guilt, when you speak even if your voice trembles, that's not rebellion, that's restoration. Every time you react, you're not just expressing a feeling, you're encoding a frequency. That's something most people never realize. We think our reactions are just temporary, emotional bursts. But in truth, they become signals, subtle codes you send out into your energetic field. And energy doesn't lie. It doesn't wait for your perfect words or your intellectual clarity. It speaks through patterns. You can say no with your mouth, but if your energy still says yes to fear, to people-pleasing, to unspoken agreements, that's the vibration the world responds to. Not your words, your field. And so the cycle begins. You find yourself in the same situations, the same kinds of arguments, the same emotions triggered again and again, as if life is stuck on repeat. You wonder, why do I keep ending up here? Why does this feel so familiar? Because it is. Your vibrational code is still running the old script. Even if your mind wants freedom, your energy is still in survival, still trying to be chosen, still trying not to be abandoned. And that realization, that sharp, sobering awareness can hit hard, but it also opens the door to change. Here's what most people miss. Breaking the pattern isn't about managing the next trigger better. It's about rewriting the code that attracts the trigger in the first place. So the real question isn't, why did this happen to me again? It's, what part of me is still saying yes to this frequency? When you stop reacting and start witnessing, something profound happens. You step out of the loop. You begin to choose your vibration instead of reliving your past. You shift from automatic response to intentional signal. And the more you do this, the less power old patterns have over you. Not because they vanish overnight, but because your field is no longer in resonance with them. That's the quiet revolution. It doesn't look like control. It looks like presence. It sounds like silence in a moment that used to be loud. It feels like not taking the bait, like breathing instead of bracing, like choosing a new story not because you've mastered life, but because you're finally living from your own alignment, not your old wounds. This isn't about performing peace. It's about embodying clarity. Because when you stop sending out confused signals, the universe stops sending you chaos. Not all prayers are spoken. Some are lived. You don't have to kneel or light candles. You don't have to chant ancient words or know cosmic geometry. You just have to choose. Because every choice you make, every small yes or subtle no, is a silent request to the universe, a declaration of what you're available for. That's what no one tells you, that your energy doesn't wait for ceremony. It responds to the most ordinary of things. What you allow in, what you ignore, what you whisper to yourself when no one's listening, the song you play on repeat, the food you reach for when you're tired, the conversations you stay in even though they leave you heavier than before. Each one a signal, each one a vote for the world you're building around you. And no, this isn't about perfection. It's not about becoming some hyper-conscious spiritual monk who never scrolls or snacks or gets sucked into someone else's storm. It's about remembering that you are the guardian of your temple, and that temple isn't some abstract thing. It's your field, your frequency, your moment-to-moment being. So how do you protect it? Not with walls, with intention. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just need to start noticing your agreements. The unconscious contracts you've made with noise, drama, distraction. And then gently, lovingly, you begin to revoke what no longer serves. You say no to chaos, not with anger, but with silence. You walk out of a room that doesn't feel like truth. You choose music that reminds you of who you are, not who the world told you to be. You cook your own meal just because your body deserves to be honored. These are not small things. They are rituals, not because they're flashy, but because they're sacred. Your vibration doesn't rise from big declarations. It rises from consistent alignment. And alignment isn't a mood, it's a practice. A quiet returning again and again to what resonates with your becoming. That's how you shape your field. That's how you speak without words. And the universe, it listens, not to what you say, but to what you choose. You were taught that power means winning, that freedom means escape, that if you're strong enough, smart enough, loud enough, you can finally rise above it all. But what if the real freedom isn't about winning? What if it's about not being taken? There's a kind of strength that doesn't roar. It doesn't dominate the room. It doesn't need to prove itself, because it knows deeply, quietly, that it cannot be removed. That kind of power isn't interested in conquest. It's interested in presence. Divine power doesn't shout. It simply is. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't even have to explain yourself. When your energy is grounded in truth, in alignment, in clarity, there's nothing to fight for, nothing to protect, because no one can steal what's rooted within you. And that's where the old narrative breaks. You've been taught that spiritual strength is about always rising, always doing, always declaring. But real inner power isn't something you perform. It's something you remember. It's the quiet knowing that, no matter what the world takes, it can't take you. You're not here to conquer the noise. You're here to remain still within it. That doesn't mean silence. That doesn't mean passivity. It means choosing what resonates without fear. It means not being baited into every battle. It means walking into spaces without shrinking, not because you need to dominate, but because you refuse to disappear. This is the shift from trying to win your worth to standing in it. You stop measuring success by outcomes and start recognizing it in your capacity to stay connected, to remain soft, to stay open even when the world tells you to armor up. And perhaps the most powerful part, you don't have to say a word. Your presence says everything. It says, I am here, I am whole. And nothing outside me defines that. This is freedom. Not the loud, defiant kind. The steady, sacred kind. The kind that doesn't break when the world turns. The kind that remains even when everything else is taken. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. It's the weariness of carrying too much for too long, responsibilities that aren't yours, expectations you never agreed to, identities that feel like costumes. You've kept going, showing up, managing the day. But inside, something is flickering. Quietly, your light has been dimming. This isn't depression, it's depletion. And it's often the first sign your vibration is slipping, not because you've done something wrong, but because you've been away from your core too long. Your creativity dries up. You react quickly, speak sharply, or go numb. The world starts to feel louder, harsher, and you start wondering if maybe you're just tired or broken. You're not broken, you're just misaligned. And here's the thing, you don't need to wait for someone to rescue you from it. You don't need the perfect retreat, the right healer, or the next book. You need to return, not to who you were, but to who you are beneath the noise. Begin with breath, not deep, forced breath, just one honest inhale that you actually feel. Then silence. Not the absence of sound, but the absence of needing to be anything. And then writing, not to perform, but to clear. To let your pen speak the truths your mouth is too tired to carry. You don't need to solve your life in one sitting. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. Because every moment you choose to be present, even in discomfort, is a moment of vibrational restoration. Your field begins to recalibrate. Not instantly, not dramatically, but faithfully. Like a seed rehydrating after drought. And slowly, the signs return. You feel a moment of unexpected calm. You laugh and mean it. You catch yourself responding with grace where you once snapped. You walk into a room and remember you belong. Not because someone validated you, because you remembered your own vibration. That's how healing begins, not with fireworks, but with a soft, persistent yes to your own aliveness. One breath, one pause, one truth at a time. Somewhere along the way, you stopped trusting the spark. You started measuring, planning, waiting for the right moment to feel safe enough to express. You replaced the pulse of your soul with a checklist and told yourself intuition would return when life calmed down. But intuition doesn't wait for calm. It waits for truth. And truth often slips in through the cracks of spontaneity, those unexpected movements, messy journal entries, awkward dances in your room, scribbled phrases that make no sense to anyone but you. That is the real alignment. You don't reconnect with your soul by trying harder. You reconnect by letting go of performance, of judgment, of the need to get it right. You reconnect the moment you say, "This is enough." This weird, raw, half-formed moment is enough. Start there. Write without knowing what the sentence will be. Sing off-key. Move without rhythm. Paint with colors that don't match. These aren't just hobbies, they're rituals, portals, invitations to remember the language of your soul, which was never meant to be logical, only honest. And here's the shift. The more you allow these acts, the more your intuition returns, not as a dramatic flash of insight, but as a gentle familiarity, a sense of homecoming, a knowing that doesn't need words, because intuition isn't a voice outside of you. It's a frequency within you, one that grows louder every time you choose flow over force. Every time you stop asking, "Is this good?" and start asking, "Is this true?" This is the magic of spontaneity. It bypasses your doubt and meets you in the now. It says, you don't have to fix yourself to reconnect. You just have to stop ignoring the subtle pull toward joy, toward creation, toward movement that isn't strategic, but soulful. And once you trust that pull again, you begin to trust yourself again. Not the version that hustles for worthiness, but the one that already is worthy. So go ahead, write the weird thing. Hum the melody no one asked for. Move in a way that makes no sense. You're not wasting time, you're finding your way home. Awakening is beautiful, but embodiment, that's the revolution. You've read the books, watched the videos, had the realizations. You've whispered affirmations into the mirror, declared, "I have a divine power," and felt something stir inside. But if it ends there, if it stays in your mind, in your journal, in your intentions, then you're only half awake. This isn't about knowing the truth. It's about living it. Your vibrational code isn't a concept to memorize. It's a frequency to maintain. And like any energy, it responds to attention, to care, to consistency. The good news, it doesn't take hours of ritual or spiritual mastery. It starts with 3 quiet minutes in the morning, before the world asks anything of you, before you scroll, speak, or serve, you tune in. You sit, you breathe, you ask, what do I want my field to carry today? And then you act from that place. Maybe you write a word that feels like truth. Maybe you light a candle. Maybe you stretch with music that makes your cells feel seen. These aren't tasks. They're alignments. They're how you anchor the vibration you want to walk with, not once, but every day. This is how you protect your energy. Not by avoiding life, but by choosing how you meet it. Because once you've declared your power, the universe listens, but so does the noise. And it will test your frequency not with disasters, but with distractions. With small choices that either dilute or deepen your resonance. So you return. Every morning, every moment, you remember, your field is a living thing, and how you treat it becomes your experience of reality. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions to align. You stop needing to feel high vibe all the time. You just commit softly, quietly, fully to showing up for your vibration like it matters. Because it does. Not for anyone else. For you, you're not here to float in inspiration. You're here to embody it. And embodiment doesn't happen in theory, it happens in dishes washed with presence, in walks taken with intention, in small, sacred choices repeated daily until your life becomes the ritual. This is where the real shift happens. It's not in the knowing, in the becoming. There's nothing else you need to earn. No extra wisdom to chase. No secret knowledge to uncover. The divine power you've been seeking, it never left. It may have grown quiet, hidden beneath roles, reactions, and routines. But it was never stolen, only forgotten. And now you remember. Not through effort, but through presence. Not by adding more, but by softening into what's already here, your breath, your stillness, your knowing. This moment isn't asking you to perform. It's asking you to feel, to listen, to trust that aliveness doesn't need a reason, it just needs space. So give yourself that space. Not someday, now, because no one can take your power unless you forget it.